All right, guys. Again, very, very happy to be here. This is sort of my favorite thing to do while I'm working. So I'm very happy to have one of the first actual follow-up calls because we've already had a call with the Blockscape team. Actually, one of the first calls that we hosted. So this is actually extremely interesting for me to see how, I think it's been about 2.5, maybe 3 months since we last spoke, to see the progress that's been made since. So I'm really excited for this one. But just for those of you who missed last time's call, we will link it below. But just in case, Norman, it would be really cool if you guys could give us a quick summary, sort of who you are, introduce the team. You know the spiel.
Sure, absolutely. Very happy that we can do this call with you. And yeah, just briefly, I'm Norman. I'm from the Blockscape team. I'm the product owner here. And yeah, I will be presenting the institutional liquid staking for SSV operators today. Then heading over to Volker.
Hey, I'm Volker. I'm the founder of Blockscape. I've been also the CEO of MV Solution, and Blockscape started as just a department for staking services and validator services. And mid this year, we spinned off this part, and now Blockscape is a separate entity located in Switzerland, and we are now ready for bringing institutional customers to staking services. Flo, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I will go ahead. So I'm also quite new here. I just joined Blockscape as of this week. So quite cool to be here and to be part of this journey. And yeah, I joined them as a blockchain architect, as I mentioned this week, and I'm happy to help answering all your questions you might have.
That's dangerous, presenting your blockchain architect. There are vultures who are going to try to snatch that and hire him. So I'm just
no.
hide his name after the call. You're not here. Awesome. Cool. Like always, you guys have Ben from the grants team. He's sort of the grown-up, making sure everything is all right. He'll be asking the questions.
Hi there.
You guys at any given point can go ahead and get started. Just a quick note from my end. This is the first time institutional liquid staking is discussed. I think it'd be very cool if you could, and I'm sure you will, explain exactly the difference between institutional and non-institutional liquid staking as you get along. But I'm excited to hear this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so I will kick off the presentation. So yeah, like you said, what we want to focus on is institutional liquid staking. As you know, so what is our vision? We've seen that for institutionals, it's relatively hard to invest into crypto just because of compliance mainly. And they have to go through some extra steps, all the players have to go to a KYC AML process to actually invest into crypto. And we want to enable our financial institutional partners to invest into crypto as well. And that's our biggest vision. And what does that mean? Or it means that we have to provide compliance. Also, what we want to give them is a very attractive APY, and that's why we also offer MEV protection. And we want the whole thing to be trustless and non-custodial, so being decentral and all these values that SSV also likes and values to enable that. And what we enable for operators is to collect institutional money by building a white label front end. So we will basically provide a front end. We will build a front end that we will provide to other SSV operators so they can also collect institutional money and enable their institutional partners to start staking. And I will go there soon, we will partner with Swell. We will also give staking NFT, and by that give transparency to operator performance, and that they can also build reputation. So that's like the very high level, what we want to do. Let's get into the details. So what does that mean? So what is, like I already mentioned, for institutions, before they can start staking, they actually have to go to a KYC and anti-money laundering process, know your customer, know your business. So everybody who is involved into this staking, that means also our partner operators, need to show who they are. And that's really, like, going to your questions, that's the main difference, right? Like they have to actually go to like in Germany we call it post-ident, where you basically say, okay, this is your address, this is you, like everybody, like it's full transparent, right? And like this is the first part of our solution, is this KYC. Then the second protocol we actually build on is Swell protocol, and I know you guys already know them. You had, like, a couple months ago, you had this call with them, also the AMA, and we saw that, and we really loved what they are providing, like what I already quickly touched on, the staking NFT and like all sorts of cutting edge technology. And we decided let's partner with them, let's white label their solution and be the first operator who actually uses the protocol to go down that road with them. And the third protocol that we are actually using is obviously you guys. So we want to run our validated technology based on what you guys are doing with EBT. And yeah, this is kind of the top level overview. And so coming to where this whole journey starts is on the bottom left, where you see like the person / institutional guy. He comes in, he has to go through the KYC process. Then once after he KYC'd himself, he can actually start staking and stake via our white label Swell protocol. And what he will get is a liquid derivative of his token, which will be likely the SC.ETH or SV.ETH. We are not 100% sure if we will actually do our own liquid staking token, or if we will use the SV.ETH from Swell. That's like, we're still in close touch with Swell, how this is going to look at the very end. Once we collected the ETH, we actually can start running our validator via SSV. And like, who are we partnering with? This will be like certified operators from, like, based on the performance, we choose other operators who we partner with, so we can provide like maximum performance and like uptimes, and like everything will be like, they get perfect APYs. And so knowing what Swell does, you guys know they also provide the NFT, and we also go with this NFT, and we make this NFT, we can make this tradable. So just using the Swell protocol and all their valuable features.
Can you actually stay on the screen before we move on? I have like 25 questions, and I'm holding myself back from asking all of them. But I really want to stop on that because this is really cool for a few reasons. Right off the bat, the fact that you listened in to our previous call with Swell means that people are listening to these calls, which is great. I'm happy about that. That's the first comment. I'm really happy to see that. On a more serious note, this is precisely the reason why we all gather here today, is because we want to see, or we wanted to see, two companies using each other's, bouncing off ideas and creating something joint. So this is incredible in my opinion. So thank you for sharing this diagram. If you don't mind, I'm gonna snapshot this and use it elsewhere.
Absolutely, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will definitely use it.
And the interesting part here is actually, like, we also were thinking about introducing something with NFTs in the staking environment. And then actually we were looking at Swell and like what they were presenting in the AMA. They were like, okay, let's reach out to these guys and talk to them, ask them what they're doing. And then that's where we kind of made this loop. And then we said, okay, let's go forward with them.
Yeah, that's the idea. You know, your value proposition is for institutions. So why should you focus on something that isn't on the institutional side? So completely makes sense. Very, very excited to see this. I do have a question, and it's sort of something I would love to know. So could you explain again, just to make sure I understand the process? So we're talking about a KYC process, or more precisely, a white label process that people can take, and I'm assuming objectively the idea is to set it or coordinate it according to the specific region or the specific country in which it is relevant, right? So in this particular case, this is for Germany, right?
Well, so Violet. Yeah, maybe so basically we are partnering with a protocol called Violet. They are based in Germany, yes, but they are providing their service not only to like German citizens / companies. So they are really like focusing on like a number of countries and citizens. So as of right now, I think they support something like 20 countries, but yeah. This is currently what they are, and they're still in stealth mode. So it's still really not 100% decided like how many countries it will be, but Germany will 100% be on the list, yes.
Got it. So this is like what I want to know. Is this, because this looks like a dynamic component that can change based on the region. And I wanted to know if it's because that Germany has very favorable tax or KYC processes, and it's, you know, beneficial for me to go to Germany and do these processes. Or is this something that anyone from different geolocations in the world could benefit from by plugging into Violet?
Well, yes, I mean, it is benefit as of right now from like just recently Germany just changed some tax laws, so it is beneficial to stake in Germany. But we chose Violet because yes, they provide the service for Germany, but also because they go beyond and go also to other countries. And like you said, in case like some other operator, because we, like I already said, we want to white label this solution also to other SSV operators. In case Violet should not support the KYC in that specific country, this is a plug and play, right? I mean, just use another KYC solution and you're good to go.
All right, I have plenty more questions. I ask just one more and let you continue.
Yes, please do.
Just because this one I have to know how it looks like. So you approach an institution and you mentioned that obviously the game here is an APY game. Offering an attractive APY return makes sense, easy to digest, for the, you know, institution to understand. But when it comes to stuff like MEV, how on earth are you going to explain to an institution who wants to potentially stake the benefits of you integrating MEV and then resulting in the higher? How you have to show me or explain to me how that process looks like?
I think very, very simple. It's just like higher APY. So I mean, I think everybody understands that. And then they will be like, okay, well, I take it.
MEV means good. Okay.
This is the good part of the MEV. Not a bad one.
I mean, like we haven't had this discussion, to be honest, with an institutional so far. So I think the APY factor will definitely be the most interesting one, I guess, for them. But I mean, some people are technical, and then I mean, there's plenty of resources out there, and we can explain. I mean, it's no problem.
Awesome. Just was a curiosity of mine. I'll let you continue.
Okay.
No.
Cool. So just introducing kind of like again the partners who like our reflect. What we want to do is we want to build a solution with 3 partner protocols / parts like that we build on top, and that is, like I already said, Violet for the KYC AML, and what they are providing is a compliance and identity infrastructure. Then for the liquid staking, we partner with Swell, and what this is a permissionless, non-custodial and liquid e-staking. And for the DVT, we obviously want to partner with you guys. And I mean, you know what you're doing, secure and decentralized infrastructure. And so what is the actual USP of this solution? Like from our perspective, it's compliant staking. So actually institutions can get in and can start staking because of this whole KYC process. We have a certified staking NFT. So that means kind of like the same approach as well, but like all our partner operators and like are certified KYC. then we have vesting flexibility. I can kind of come back to the previous diagram. So what you can do with your rewards, you can either start getting the SC or you can also put it into the NFT, and you have also no tokenomic risk. So what we want to do is we want to start a curve pool and do a 1-to-1 ETH pack for this newly introduced SCEs, and the NFT is obviously tradable. And this is like, I mean, making this NFT and the staking derivative, just introducing that, from our perspective, this will foster like operators to perform well, and they can actually show off that they performed well. So it will actually introduce a kind of a competition between operators as well. And we believe this is a great thing because it just is good for the whole ecosystem as well. And that kind of wraps it up already. And we can always come back to any slide if you have more questions. Probably this one is the most interesting one. So I'm very open to your questions. We are all.
Hey. This is
Please
Ben.
go ahead.
First of all, on behalf of the grant committee, congratulations and welcome to the family. I mean, for everyone listening to this call, you can find the proposal and the grant application on the SSV forum, as always. If you want to learn more about the details, just go on the forum, read it. And again, as I said, congratulations on behalf of the grant committee for this 50K grant. That's a great thing. And I think what you guys are doing is in the sole interest of what SSV stands for. And my question is pretty open at that point, but how hard or easy do you think it will be to integrate solutions like SSV into your product? And for that, how does that boost your development or even lower your development costs?
Excellent question. Okay, there are several questions there. So does SSV lowering our development costs? Of course, on the operation side, yeah. So we get a very stable protocol with SSV to manage and maintain the validator service. This is the core of everything. So here we have definitely we get a lot of benefits from what SSV is doing. On the other side, there is a little bit complexity and a lot of new things. There are some moving targets here, like this Violet protocol. It's completely, it's protocol-based KYC process, and there's an on-chain, off-chain verification in place. So there are a lot of things we have to figure out how we can manage the usability on the usability side, to make it very easy to attract the institutional that they feel comfortable, that they are really willing and motivated to use this kind of interface to start this process. But we believe we are able to do that. And of course, with this grant, we have the chance to do it. Without a grant, I believe it is a lot of much more effort, also on the risk, a bigger risk on the management side, to bring it all together. So it helps us a lot to make this project to a real product at the end of the day.
Makes total sense. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe a follow-up question on the operator side. So can you please tell us a little more about how you try to select the set of operators you plan to support on your product? And what are the criteria? How do you plan to monitor their success on the network? And how does that matter for institutional stakers compared to retailers?
Sure. So what we'll try to do is like open up an application form, obviously. So other operators can apply to become partner operators. And what will be measured by? So you all know rated networks. So we will most likely just use the metrics that they already are using, and based on that, we'll make our judgment.
Well, then wait a second. You said you're going to use Rated. So that's another ecosystem component that recently got partner of the SSV network, right? So you are planning
Yes.
to add an extra building block to this picture, more or less, because I think they're
Yes.
going to provide a API real quick and pretty soon. So you might be able to even automate a couple of selection
true.
tasks yourself.
Yep.
Cool. Good
Yep.
to hear. Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank
I
you.
have more of a general question just for people who might be interested in reaching out to you guys or hearing more from you guys on your future plans. Do you see yourselves or the solution that you're building more designed for crypto savvy institutions, so people that already have a footprint in the crypto space, or is it for the ones that you feel like you can attract someone that has nothing to do with crypto and make all this bridge all the way into
Wow.
staking?
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is the big vision we would like to achieve, to get all the people there are not today in the ecosystem, and they get a chance to dig in. But at the beginning, to be honest, we will start with institutionals there, savvy with this, and would like have experience, some sort of experience, and have an understanding what ETH2 staking means, at least. Yeah, so otherwise it's a big hurdle, and there are too much obstacles from our side, we believe. And but at the end of the day, if the process is really cool and if we do a great job on the UI perspective, I believe we could convince a lot of institutionals to go with this kind of technology, with this kind of stack. And we believe we provide a lot of knowledge and services to protect them and reduce their concerns on the legal side, because we have this full self-regulated environment. And this is a little bit a nutshell of the whole idea here. And this also reduces the risks, because we know exactly who is the validator in and who is working there, what are the performance measurements behind them, what are our KPIs, how we monitor the system, so we can guarantee that there are serious operators behind this infrastructure, and this is not a wild west infrastructure who everybody is involved there.
Yeah, makes sense. Which, by the way, we are in complete agreements. The educational side is far off from what we're able to do.
Yeah, right.
You guys still fine?
Sorry, say it again, Aaron.
I'm saying my headphones just died. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you right now.
Okay, just this instant.
Cool.
So sort of a follow-up question on that. If we're looking at the crypto savvy users, I'm assuming that some of them have already had some experience with not similar, but other optional staking tools or staking services for institutions. So aside from the APY, which is a given that everyone is chasing, it would be great if you guys could just in a simple way explain the value proposition that you guys bring to the table, sort of a high level. We'll make a little reel out of it, give you a snapshot of that, of what you bring to the table that the current institutional solutions might not be able to bring.
Yeah, I think like for institutionals, more than anyone else, it's really important who you are partnering with, right? Like you got to know where the servers actually are, and like who is your partner geographically wise, especially, I would say. And like for us, like giving this option, like institutional investor can invest into Blockscape, right? So he knows exactly his money is put into this company, and then he can also choose with which partner company he wants to stake. So we believe this is a great value proposition, especially for this institutional settings, because like he knows exactly who he's partnering with.
So assuming in a scenario like that, you would give the institutional player the possibility to select his own construct or his own setup of operators?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're thinking, and that's also what we want to show in the NFT. So I kind of like touched like very basically on what this NFT is supposed to show, right?
That was
Like
my
so
follow-up question anyway. So
yeah. Okay, so kind of like if you run a validator, like what we want to show in this NFT is okay. So you chose to work with Blockscape and these other three operators. This is their geolocation. This is their performance. Like there's so many cool stuff we can put into this NFT that is like usually if you, for example, stake with Lido, it's just not visible. And this is like what we believe is a great value proposition for the whole ecosystem, and also like operators can really start differentiating each other, like between others that might not perform as well.
Maybe this would be a great opportunity. Again, I mentioned in the beginning of the call before we hopped on a call, but because in my opinion, a lot of people associate NFT with JPEGs or monkeys or apes. I think it would be a good moment to stop and explain exactly what the NFT means in this particular case. It is not a JPEG.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's well. You can do it.
You can make it.
No, I mean, it's not like
and then resell it on OpenSea. Yeah.
But the more interesting part is you can also like, so an NFT also gives you the option to store metadata, and I think that's probably what a lot of people don't really know. And like in this specific context, we really want to start to like save this metadata as well in there, right? So there's actually so much more to an NFT than just a JPEG. And you can also like put rewards on top. So we kind of like, you see this vesting here. So you can, one step further back. So when you run your validator, you get rewards, right? I mean, that's also kind of basic, but just since you asked the basic question, I thought like with the basics, right? So what we offer is that the user can actually also vest his rewards into the NFT, and by that, like the value of the NFT also goes up. So it's not only the metadata, it's also that you can kind of charge your NFT with the rewards.
So that NFT of the 4 operators that you said, based on the geolocation, based on the client diversity, based on all the parameters, by the way, great idea. So that NFT in itself will be charged with, just to make sure I understand, I will be able to increase the value of said NFT by prolonging my stake or adding more staking options to that construct?
Yes. So just to be fair, that's kind of like how we believe what like Swell also offers, and like we want to give this opportunity also to the user to either just get the SCEs back, the rewards, or give them the option to kind of charge their NFT. So that's kind of what we believe would be a really great value proposition. So you actually start a validator, and then at this very moment you can say what happens to your rewards.
I see. Very smart. So in that sense, I can decide just so I want to make sure I'm clear. From that sense, I can decide whether I want to withdraw some of the rewards that I've generated, assuming that functionality or when that functionality will be added. But at the same time, I can stick it or place them in this NFT and compound my interest over time. Is that more or less?
Exactly. Yeah. That's more or less what we have in our head, but like I mean, also Swell is really early in the game. Yeah, but that's kind of what we think would be a really great value as well.
This is a drop the mic kind of situation. Very cool.
That's cool.
Ben, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, maybe one more question in regards to compliance and regulation. I mean, you mentioned it a couple of times now, and it's not limited to German region only, but I wonder, how does your setup and your selection of partners, building blocks, favor regulations as we have them in Germany, Switzerland, and whatsoever? So what are the facts that institutions are looking for when they are choosing a partner? Is that pure the transparency aspect, or are there other metrics they evaluate when they are selecting their base infrastructure sort of and their partner?
Well, to be honest, I haven't spoken to a lot of institutions, but from what I see is transparency is a big factor, and I think geolocation of the staking provider is like also a really big one, just because they are under the law of this country down the road.
So would you say a institutional staker that is located in Europe would very likely select European operators? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we believe on that, and because if you institutions should or maybe have to select operators, they are also under this EU regulation, working under this EU regulation, so it's completely covered from the legal perspective, so it's being compliant. And this is the reason why we build this framework or this setup, because we don't know what is happening in the next weeks or months or years in the EU, especially with the regulations coming with the MiCA 2, and a lot of other things coming up there. And we would like to have a setup which is robust enough to can be qualified for these scenarios. And this is the reason why we would like to build it now. So we can attract people now, institutions, and can give them at least the chance to being compliant with the future regulations. A chance, because I don't know what is happening. If there are some special things coming up, then and we have not considered there, okay, there could be a problem, but we would provide a setup who can convince institutionals to cover the risk on their own, to being able to go in the staking service or in the staking business.
I got that. That's great. So non-custodial, fully transparent. I think that are the two pillars on which this promise is built, right?
Right.
That's cool. Awesome.
Does that mean that if I am, for instance, using cloud providers, let's say in the East Coast US, and I'm not regulated in the US, that might be a problem for me moving forward? Or did I misunderstand that completely?
I don't believe it is it would be not a big problem for you as a validator, but no, maybe it could be a problem who can stake to your validator in the future, maybe. Because in the Europe, they are discussing that everybody, even if it's non-custodial, you need the address or who is behind this wallet to allow to stake. On the other side, the validators are responsible to know exactly who has delegated to you.
Wow.
Okay.
Even so, explaining to them the idea of non-custodialship, or
if you come from a different continent, maybe you don't understand the situation, but we know exactly this is a special situation here in Europe. But this is exactly why we believe we need something like this ecosystem or this framework, that we have at least a chance to convince institutions. Otherwise, their risk compliance officer will deny immediately this idea and say we cannot invest in products like this.
That's good. And maybe your idea, your vision is an important cornerstone, in convincing policymakers going forward to not over-regulate. I think you are giving them the arguments to make institutional staking possible based on the rules and laws and the base assumptions we in Europe have. So I think that might make a huge difference for the policymakers going forward if we have technology and stacks that could value the values of the European Union and everything that is related under it. Regulated under it, sorry.
Absolutely. This is our wish, but being friendly here, I believe we are really a small player there. So, but we would like to bring our knowledge, of course, here in some institutions where we can discuss this and help them to improve also these policy things.
Exactly.
But this is a long-term vision, and it takes time and so on.
Good. It's great to have a vision.
Thank you.
Just again, last remarks. If from my end, I would like maybe you could share a few insights into the roadmap moving forward, how that's going to look like, when the community can expect updates from you guys.
Yeah. So roadmap wise, I mean, like you see, we are building on top of three different, like 2 different protocols. Pretty early in the game still, right? So we set up calls with Swell and we also get access to their protocol as of this week, actually. And what we get access to is the smart contracts and the backend. What we will be starting to build as of now is the front end for the liquid staking. And what is also still in stealth mode is the Violet, but also here we are in close touch with them and building like our front end to that. So it's hard, we believe, I mean, we already put that on the roadmap. We want to be done kind of by Q1 of next year, but it's like a lot of shaking parts. But we believe this is something we can do.
Yeah, a lot of moving pieces. A lot of early projects with big promises that hopefully will be delivered on time. Yeah.
Right.
All right, that's it. No more questions from my end. I'm done.
I'm happy as well. Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much.
We will schedule and obviously share this video with everyone. You guys can follow up with anyone who has questions. We will redirect them to you. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the time, and thanks for all the cool questions. Yeah.
And good luck, guys. More importantly, good luck. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. Looking forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Yeah.